Hey everybody, my name is William Rachko, and I play the Euphonium. Today, I'll be teaching you how to play the concert B-flat major scale and the concert G natural minor scale. Let's start with the concert B-flat major scale. First, we're going to have to learn our fingerings for this scale. Concert B-flat major scale, it's easy. It starts on concert B-flat. The fingering for concert B-flat on our Euphonium would be open, no valves pressed down. After concert B-flat is C. C is played 1 and 3 or 4th valve if you've got that as an option. But for now, let's just use 1 and 3 for C. For D, 1 and 2, E flat, 1, F, open, G, 1 and 2, A, 2, B flat, open. Now, if at any point you need to pause the video and go back and check the fingerings, please go ahead and do so. But now, let's just put it on the horn and see how it sounds. So that's the concert B-flat major scale. On the way back down, it sounds exactly the same. Well, there you have it. Maybe after a little bit of work, you can play it with me. Here, I'll set a metronome to 86 beats per minute. And I'm going to make sure to play the scale nice and slowly. And if you want, you can join in with me. I'll let the metronome click 4 times before I come in. Ready? So even me, I had a little wavering in my sound on some of my notes. So maybe I'll turn it down, let's say down to 78. And let's try it one more time. So just by slowing the scale down, we're able to really lock in our fingerings and make sure that each note is getting the sound that it deserves. Now, to take the B-flat major scale just a couple steps further, let's think of some fun things that we can do to, make this a little bit more challenging. First, I'll teach you guys how to play the B-flat major scale slurred. Playing a scale slurred means that all of the notes must be connected. So I don't want to hear any space in between changing fingerings or valves on notes. Here's an example. Pay close attention to how my notes are very connected to one another and almost sound like they're touching. So that's the concert B-flat major scale slurred. Now, what would it sound like with a different articulation? Let's try the concert B-flat major scale played staccato. We're going to play every note staccato or separated from one another. There's going to be a little bit of space in between each note of the scale every time we change our fingerings. one last very complicated thing that we can do with this scale. You know, if you feel like you haven't pushed yourself enough yet, let's try the concert B-flat major scale played in thirds. And this time we'll really make sure you guys can see my fingerings while I'm playing the scale. When we play the B-flat major scale in thirds, we're going to have to move from note to note with an interval of a third in between each note. The way that would work in the B-flat major scale would be going from B-flat to D at the very beginning. From B-flat to D at the very beginning. From open, straight to 1 and 2, skipping over that second note, C, which is played 1 and 3. Here's how it would sound, the B-flat major scale in thirds. That's the B-flat major scale in thirds. Now, if you wanted to make it even more complicated, one last thing you could try to do. Take the B-flat major scale in thirds that you just learned, take the B-flat major scale slurred or staccato that we just learned, and let's put them on top of each other. Let's try to play a B-flat major scale in thirds with the staccato approach. Now I'll put on the metronome and we'll be playing half note staccatos. So each one of our notes is going to get 2 beats. Well, there you have it. The concert B-flat major scale, played in staccato, played in slurred, and played in thirds. Even played staccato thirds. I hope you guys had a great time learning how to play the B-flat major scale today. Make sure to slow the scale down and take your time learning it. Have fun adding extra practicing techniques on top of it once you learn your fingerings. Now that we've learned the fingerings for the concert B-flat major scale and some practice techniques so we can bring it further, let's do the same thing with the concert G natural minor scale. The concert G natural minor scale has B-flats and E-flats and starts on G natural. On the euphonium, that is fingered 1 and 2. The next note would be A, second valve, followed by B-flat, open, C, 1 and 3, or 4th valve if you have it, D, 1 and 2, E-flat, 1, F, open, and G, 1 and 2. There you have the fingerings for the G natural minor scale. When played, this is how it would sound. Now the G natural minor scale is the same descending as it is ascending, so you don't need to worry about changing notes on the way down. Now, let's see if you can play this with me. I'm going to set my metronome to 78 beats per minute, and if you can, listen for my metronome if you can hear it, and try and lock your notes in and change at the same time as I am. I'll give you 4 clicks before I come in, and I'll let each note have 2 beats. Great. So those are the notes of the G natural minor scale. Let's try and apply some practice techniques so we can bring this scale a little bit further. Let's try and play the concert G natural minor scale slurred. This means that we're going to connect every single note of the scale with the note that comes before it, and we're going to leave basically no space at all in between any of the notes. I'll put on the metronome again and you can try it with me. But if you want, feel free to listen the first time, then rewind the video, and just so you can make sure you can hear how the slurred sound is being conveyed through my horn and how I'm connecting each note. So that's the concert G natural minor scale slurred. But what if you wanted a more separated sound? What if you wanted a little bit of silence in between each note? Well, for that approach, you would use the staccato technique. Let's articulate each note with a staccato technique, leaving a little bit of space in between each note of the scale. Again, each note is going to be worth 2 beats, but they're going to be staccato this time. Great, so there you have it, the fingerings for the concert G natural minor scale and some practice techniques so you can bring in a little bit further. That's it for the scales today. Feel free to take these practice techniques that we learned and apply them to scales that you might already know or scales that you have yet to learn. You'd be surprised at how exciting playing a scale can get if you just make it a little bit fun for yourself. Scales are super important and you're going to spend a lot of time learning them. So please, have fun, and until next time, keep practicing.